On today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Hellraiser Series 2 figures. We're looking today at Skinless Julia. Skinless Julia does include removable bandages, so I would say maybe of all the reviews I've done, I don't know, maybe if you're a child you get a little wheezy, or if you're a parent, maybe you might not want them watching this review. Normally Spot wouldn't say that normally, but the fact that these are removable bandages, I don't know what it's going to look like underneath there, so I'm just giving some warning ahead of time. Don't shoot the messenger. You can collect all 6 figures to create your very own Pillar of Souls, which we've slowly started doing in the course of these reviews. On the back of the package, oh, see, now Spot just gave it away. I like how on the front they say removable bandages, hoping that they wouldn't then have to show you, and then on the back it's like, boom, there it is right there. As for the re-up on Julia, it says the betrayer who became the betrayed, wife to Larry Cotton, lover to Frank Cotton, forbidden desires indulged were enough to transform Julia into a murderer. But it was the Cenobites who carried out hell's retribution for her sins. But when Dr. Channard resurrected her skinned visage from the bloody mattress on which she died, he also resurrected her lust for vengeance. Down below you can see some of the other figures that make up Series 2. A pretty strong wave of figures. And again, looking forward to building the Pillar of Souls, which will happen soon enough, my friends. Don't worry, that is going to be definitely on the way. What I am going to do is take a bit of a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Skinless Julia. Stay tuned, there's more on the way. Before we have a look at Julia, let's have a look at the actual piece of the Pillar of Souls that she does come with. I'm going to assume that's the top. That's the top of the Pillar of Souls. Especially by indicating the fact that there's these notches underneath. I don't suspect that this would be a case that you would just sit the pillar on top. So I'm going to assume that's the top of the Pillar of Souls. I guess we will find out sooner or later. Some nice details though on there's some heads on the sides there, on the corners. And again, I love this green that they incorporated into the painting, into the paint of the actual sculpted piece. So a really nice, solid piece. Definitely looking forward to getting this put together and certainly reviewed for you guys. And let's just put that down here for a second. I'm just going to keep this. You know what? We'll just keep it off camera. You don't need to see it now. It will definitely come later, though. Let's have a look at Julia. As indicated, she is in her bandages right now. Once again, Spot wants to warn all my younger viewers out there, if you don't like the sight of gruesome looking figures, I would say turn away now. Maybe watch My Little Pony reviews or something else that I've done, something else more fun and lighthearted. The face on her, it's hard to make out. Looks like if there was a Bride of Darkman, this would be the Bride of Darkman right here. She's all bandaged up there. It's not the prettiest of things to look at, that's for sure. But the detailing on even though we haven't even got to the figure itself yet, the detailing on the face with the bandages and everything is really, really nice. I like that quite a bit. You can also see that she's wearing her dress there. Not really much. I mean, the figure, there's really not a lot to be said for the figure itself, because you will either display her with the bandages or without. She's got some bandages going on her sleeves there. The one side, one hand is bloodied. She got blood all over her fingers there. That's because she also does come with a heart. Have a heart. Thanks a lot. You can see that she's got the heart there. So really nice detailing work, even really nice detail on the actual sculpt of the heart too. Maybe you could easily just have this heart with any one of your action figures, one of your horror action figures. You could have that incorporated as well. The other accessories that Julia does come with are her 2 alternate arms. The reason why they're 2 alternate arms is because this is one sculpted piece on the sleeves. So if you want to have her skinless, you would obviously have to take the arms off and incorporate a skinless version of that. Now, I haven't tried this yet. I actually haven't tried taking the bandages off yet, so this is going to be an experience for me as well. Just before we actually do that, her articulation, she's got a swivel in the head. You can see this piece right here. This piece will actually come off. She's got swivel in the arms, swiveled in the, nothing in the forearms, but swiveled in the wrists. Nothing really in this with the dress on yet. Doesn't seem to be a lot in the way of articulation there. So not bad, not bad. Again, may not be your cup of tea. You may prefer to have her skinless. And again, Spot wants just to throw it out there. Don't kill the messenger. If you feel like this would be inappropriate for your child to be watching a skinless figure, I would just say in advance, just let them know that maybe this is probably not the best of Spot's reviews, and maybe to go watch something else. So having said that, Spot's just going to take the arms off here. They seem fairly easy to unpeg and unpeg. I'm always a little iffy when it comes to NECA figures for how easily, I shouldn't even say that. I was going to say how easily, you know what I was going to say. It has to do with joints. How easily stuff gets broken on figures. Okay, there's the other joint. I guess I'm going to leave this off for now because it looks like I have to keep them off to do everything else to the figure. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this back piece off here. And I assume you can just simply peel this off her head. Again, if you want to say, oh Spot, you're doing this completely wrong. That's, you know, this is the first time I've done this. Maybe I might take the head off. Will the head come off? Let's see here. Never thought I'd see the day come when Spot actually had to peel a figure's top head off to expose the skinless version underneath. What she really could have benefited from was an actual slit in the back of the mask, or in the back of the bandages, so it would have been easier to get this off. There we go. And there's the bandages. Complete. It's rubber, so I mean it could have been harder to get off. It certainly could have been a lot easier as well. And let's see here. I guess we're just going to take this off. Again, I apologize in advance. I'm going to get this off here. I assume taking the dress down this way is probably the easier aspects than having it up. There we go. And just like that, take the dress. There's the dress right there, and put that aside. And there you have Skinless Julia. Oh wait, let's get those arms in there. Make sure I got the right arm in. Peg that into place. And peg this into place as well. Rotate the hands. There we go. Well, I can tell you one problem that I already have with the figure is the fact that she is heavily pre-posed. You can see that she is pre-sculpted. Even though you can do stuff with some of the limbs, she is pretty solid. I mean, she is pretty stuck in one piece, in one pose. Also, she's I don't know if it's just the way she was sculpted, but I find her very slippery. Like they've actually put something on the figure, maybe to help get the costume, get the wrap and everything off the figure. It's also a little creepy too that the figure has left a little bit of the paint on the inside of the dress, which would obviously make sense of it in real life. That would be blood all on the interior of the dress. Alright, so let's zoom into the figure now. And yeah, she's definitely a well-sculpted figure. Very, very gruesome, though. You can see her skull there, all the tendons and muscle fibers there. She's smiling, though, so despite the fact she's skinned, she seems to be having a good time, whatever she's doing. Again, there's some detailing on the chest there. She's got a six-pack, so she works out. And on the back there, her spine. I mean, she's a really nicely sculpted figure. She pairs perfectly with the Frank from Series 2. Just excuse the sirens in the background there. I guess somebody's reported spot for inappropriate videos. Get the arm completely in there. Yeah, it's definitely a nice figure. Again, like my big problem with the figure is it's pre-sculpted. Like her arm, as you can see, having it posed this way, it looks off. It definitely looks off. Having it forward, the arm seems to line up with the way that the sculpt is set up, and then it would make sense if you had the heart. You just put the heart in her hand, and you know, she could do like that. She could hold it. But really, without a display stand, and she also has no swivel in the joint, or swivel in the waist or anything like that. She's got this, I don't know how you're going to get her to stand. If you know what I mean. She's just, again, she's got these arched, one foot is back. I mean, there's really, it seems to be only one way to hold this figure, or one way to display this figure. Kind of looks like she's, you know, going to be, she's running to give this, hey, can you take this, take this. In the way for articulation, Julia's head does rotate left and right. It doesn't look like it's on a ball joint, though. Her arms are on a swivel. The wrists rotate. Again, nothing in the waist. The legs go forward and back, but not a lot. Not a lot at all. In fact, as far as you see right now, that's as much as I seem to be able to get out of the figure. This other leg looks like it's on a hinge, but it doesn't really want to move for me. And just likely just due to the sculpt on the figure itself, I guess they didn't want to put any swivel or anything like that in the knees or on the ankles. So really, you've got a very fussy, very stuck figure. It's nicely sculpted, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like they sacrificed sculpt for a good figure. I just wish she had a display stand or something, because she can't really do anything. Unless you can take, well, you could technically take the back of her base. There's a peg hole there. And just peg her foot into place. See if that will help her stand. So you can kind of have her on the bottom of the Pillar of Souls, but if you're going to incorporate her into the other pieces of the Pillar of Souls, you're not going to use this as a display base. That it kind of seems like it doesn't make any sense. So move the Pillar of Soul base out of the way. Julia, I like as a figure. I think the sculpt is solid on this figure, but with just this pre-posed problem that the figure has, no good sculpt in the world is going to help a figure that is just this awkward. Not to mention, it is a bit difficult to get all the clothing and rags and wraps off of her, especially that of the head. So I mean, it's your call whether you want to have her with the bandaged head or without. But certainly a little bit of caution. I would be very careful putting on the bandage, taking them off, because I'm sure at some point you're going to break a peg in the head. Probably not going to have a problem with the waist because it's all one solid piece, but I think from a sculpt level, I think Julia is a great figure, but very awkward. It's just a very awkward figure. I'm going to give her, though, a 7.5. Today's toy spot, we're having a look, though, at the Neca Hellraiser Series 2 figures. We're looking today at Julia. She's not the prettiest of women, but, and also she's evil. Let's not forget that fact, boys. She's also evil. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.